this video, I'm going to be talking about the things you need as a baker, the motivation that keeps me going, lessons I got during baking.
CiMaa, cooking with CiMaa, cooking with CiMaa, cooking with CiMaa.
Before I begin, there are some items or tools that we as bakers don't really find in the market, like cake toppers and 16 liters cake mixers, things that you may need for a standard bakery. So in the description down below, I'm going to be leaving a link to my pre-order group where we as bakers and entrepreneurs of all kinds get to buy collectively for personal use or to resell. Any item or ingredient you want to use to achieve a particular cake design. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and say that I got everything in bits, because I've been a very impatient person. I mean, if I actually did think of getting an oven, I would have. The first lesson, I know lessons is supposed to be last, but let me just give you a bit of a snippet. Okay, I know you can already guess by now. Baking taught me to be patient. So now, sorry for the hold up. The very first cake item we'll be disclosing is the cake mix. Not really the cake mixer, but a hand mixer. Right, so this is what the hand mixer looks like. There's usually the things, the blends, whips, I think that's what it's called. So yeah, it's supposed to come out of here, and that is kept somewhere, and I can't go and bring it right now. Anywho, next up we have that's very important, by the way, we have the cake pans. So for starter bakers, I would recommend you get a 6 inches cake pan, 7 inches, 8 inches, 9 inches. For 10, 12 and thereabouts, I would say you should hold on. Those pans are usually for wedding cakes because they are really big. So your pans, we have sorry, that's too much noise. I get too excited. Anyway, these are measuring cups and spoons. Of course, you get your napkins because cleanliness is really important. Next up, we have the kitchen scale. I got everything in a set. I don't know if that's a good thing. CakeTurntable. You can see how old they are because I got them over years ago. Even though I wasn't baking at the time, I just knew I loved to bake. So next up we have the Whisk. We have the Sieve to sieve dry ingredients as flour. This, for some reason, I just got this because my best seller at a particular time was coconut cake. So I was using this to, grate a lot of coconut into the cake. The cake boards, really important to have, not the ones that you sell, like you put the customer's cake in there and you give it to them. No, this cake, I like to have an extra cake board so I can, flip when doing a fondant cake. And your candle rolling pin. I have this, and I also have the wire leveler, but this is more preferable, I believe. I just think it's just your preference, I guess, because this is more natural to me. To be very careful because you could get injured using this. The cake leveler and this cake Plump, if it's standing right, like it's not bending, it's not like slopey or something. So cake smoothness, and your scrapers. Although this is like a very mini sized scraper, you need your pastry brushes. There are some items that I can't carry with my hands and show you guys. You also need an oven. You need your mixing bowls, as well as getting your cake couplers and nozzle tips. You can get all of these items, even more, from the pre-order. Make sure you join, and we'll do our best to source out the best quality at affordable prices. So before I started baking, I saw a video on YouTube, and I just loved how the baker was using a cake steamer to decorate. So yes, a cake steamer. I'm sorry this is not an unboxing video because, as you can tell, this is already open, but I don't mind sharing the contents of this box with you. So this is the funnel, and you can already tell that I like to keep things in the box for some reason, apparently. So yeah, this is what the cake steamer looks like. Not a necessity as a beginner. If you think you can, afford it, you go for it. But the reason I like using the manual method is because using the manual method, I get to make sure that I'm achieving the consistency. But when you just put all the ingredients into the mixer and it's doing the work for you, you may not be paying close attention to make sure that this is the consistency or you're overdoing it. Another item I got from the pre-order has to be this set of plates. As one who is on a culinary journey, I had to get plates to learn how to plate and use them for my food business. All of this and more are available on the pre-order. The quality, how beautiful, why am I lacking words right now? Like these are really quality, right? You can tell for yourself just seeing them. Even will be all available. Also tripods and every other content creation tool and gadgets that you need for your business are also available. Already you guys know what a knife and a scissors looks like. It's a baking paper, and it's also equally important. A cling film, you have to cling film the foods you're working on to prevent insects and any other creeping thing from entering into the food you're working with, and also to allow the steam reabsorb into that meal you are cooking. So for the motivation that gets me by during my baking journey, I'd say first off, I grew up in a family where education is a more priority than skills. So my dad would usually threaten that before you go off learning or doing any skill, you have to come home with your degree, especially going off to sell puff puff for that matter. Anyway, that became the sort of motivation to me, aside the fact that I got an advice to write down everything you want in a partner and be that list. And I've always wanted to marry a chef because I've always admired chefs and people in that category. So like, why not become a chef? Hopefully next time I come back to this video, I'd have proven that you can achieve 7-8 figures from a skill or something of that sort. So for beginner bakers, startup bakers, I would like you all to know that baking is a very stressful activity. It requires a lot of focus, a lot of your focus, which is one of the reasons why I love baking, because it requires a lot of attention to creativity, attention to details, and you have to put your mind to it and commit to achieving perfection and not less of that. Because as you know, there are a lot of bakers and there's a lot of competition, so you have to make sure that what you're serving is unique and perfect. So one of my very first baking teachers, God bless her soul, usually says to be patient and strive for perfection. As someone who doubles as a medic and a baker, getting off from work and you're working on a fondant cake and the fondant is not fondanting, it's not coming together, I can just get tired and just try to patch it up together and just deliver it anyway. The first lesson is to get rid of impatience. If I am not mentioning any item that you think should be mentioned here, please leave them in the comment section, and I believe that'll be helpful. Thank you for watching. I love you all. Bye.